times were rough for many of us.
And I think I lost like a lot of emotional progress because it's always different when you trade with real money.
Any trade that you thought is like a small win, but maybe it ended up teaching you a bit of a bigger lesson.
Though I did like almost 100% gain this year with 1 to 3 risk to rewards, I still made so much mistakes. Like at the end, sticking to the plan is the most important thing if you want to become profitable, I think.
Did you have a moment that you had like an epiphany? Welcome, Rutger, to the Trading Pit podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to basically do this interview with us.
Anytime.
Success story. So I'm really, really happy and excited to hear a little bit more about your journey, but I would love first for you to kind of give us a little bit of an intro about yourself. Tell us a little bit more about you.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Rutger. I'm 24 years old, and I'm currently in the office here in Amsterdam. I've been trading for 4.5 years now, the last year has been really profitable for me. And I'm also teaching others in our trading community, the Trading Academy. So things have been going really well, and just started trading from in 2020. I started trading in 2020 when Corona hit, and I just wanted to make money online basically. And I found out about trading. I was like, oh, if I learn to understand the markets, I'm able to make money like from basically anywhere. So that really excited me. And there's been a tough journey with lots of ups and downs, and struggling but not giving up. And that added up to finally getting profitable this year. So 2024 has been a great year for us, for me, and the team also.
First of all, I have to say, starting trading during COVID, I think many traders can relate, especially that time was, everyone was at home, everyone was stuck, and many people, saw trading as an option for them to make like an extra income because, times were rough for many of us. But look at that, like 4 years later, you're doing great. I wanted to ask you, 2024 has been very, very interesting in the markets as well. What would you say that was the trade that made you realize in 2024 that you are making some progress as a trader? And like, why specifically that trade?
Yeah, so I've had many good trades this year. I stick to 1 to 3 risk to reward overall, but I've had some great payouts, and I think Euro odd is, for example, really good pair for myself. US oil as well. So I've had some really great setups that secured very good payouts for myself, and just truly mastering like one strategy and one type of setup has really made the difference for me. So I try to keep executing it again and again and again.
Okay. Did you have during your trading journey any moment, not only in 2024, but let's say the whole journey so far, did you have a moment that you had like an epiphany, like a moment that you realized that you are making progress as a trader?
Yeah, definitely. So in August of this year, I wanted to basically start using fundamental analysis or incorporate fundamental analysis into my trading. And then I was looking up like fundamental analysis forex, and I was like, okay, I don't have the knowledge about fundamentals, so can I pay someone for it, or can I are there like any available sources? And was like, no, this doesn't exist. So that's why I decided to also start forexfundamentals.com and really dive into fundamentals for forex. And I'm working together with a great fundamental analysis analyst now, and he has been providing us with very helpful and insightful information about the fundamentals, and like the fundamental scores for each currency pairs. They have made like a massive difference for my trading, because I was trading purely mechanical, and now I incorporate like a fundamental bias, and that was like a turning moment for me, because when I started using it, like pro trend and also pro fundamental bias, For example, I've had great my payout trade with the trading pit was a Euro GBP short, which was fundamentally bearish and has been for months now. And if you go look on the chart of Euro GBP, it's just trending down like for months and months. So this was really a game changer for me.
That's interesting that you say fundamentals was something that's new to you since August, because I always assumed, maybe it's not good to assume, but I always assumed that traders are starting from fundamental and then moving to technical. So
True,
for
true,
you,
but
it's
it's not
the
for
opposite.
everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I was purely technical analysis. I knew there was more, of course, and yeah, in August I decided to really dive into it, and this has really been helpful. And I also see it in my performance over the year. It has like skyrocketed in like September, October, November because of incorporating fundamental analysis.
Okay. Well, that's really, really cool to hear. I actually always thought that everyone do start from fundamental, but I mean, I'm thinking maybe like the new generation, which like I see yourself, I'm assuming from new generation, everyone's like more technical, and now you're
Hmm.
kind of going back to classics, back to the basics. So I want to ask you something different. So is there something in your opinion that's like a hidden truth in trading? Maybe something that not everyone is actually talking about, something that is like you believe is very, very important, but is not talked enough in the industry.
Yeah, so it's actually an indicator, and I don't like to really use indicator. I really like to look at the price action. But as of recently, I've been monitoring daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly open levels of just any instrument. It can be like Forex, it can be gold, crypto even, and like weekly, monthly, and yearly open levels, they seem to be really strong support and resistance levels for whatever reason. So yeah, just when I started looking at these levels, you can see like such clear bounces off these levels, and they're just monthly or weekly, or yeah, they're just open price levels, but for some reason they are really strong. So I have been using this as an extra confluence. I've been also teaching it in the community, and yeah, there are definitely like a lot of people now looking at this insight that they weren't before. And yeah, for some reason, yeah, they the levels keep holding or bouncing off. So that's
So
really
basically,
interesting.
from your perspective, it's like you need to have eyes everywhere. It's not only
Hmm.
fundamental, it's not only technical, it's also use indicators. But do you also, for example, sometimes go for a trade because of a gut feeling? Or do you always go for full on analysis before you execute something?
Yeah, because if you can go for gut trades, but like as a coach as well, if I teach like my students, okay, you need to stick to your plan, and then a student comes to me and he's like, oh, I have three losses because there were three gut trades, then I simply say, yeah, you didn't follow your plan, right? You need to execute. Yeah, you need all these confluences, you need this bias to for the trade to be valid. And if you don't have all these confluences and you just got trade off your gut and you take all these L's, yeah, then you're not sticking to the plan. So I don't like these types of trades because they can also not work in your favor, and then you can't really or you don't really have a good reason to not follow your plan, right? Because yeah, in the end, sticking to the plan is the most important thing if you want to become profitable, I think.
Well, so how do you keep the balance between those two? What's your trick? What's your trick to like keep the balance between that gut and the data?
So yeah, I like to also write down pros and cons for myself. So if I have a trading idea, I can write down all the pros, but I also like to be the advocate of the devil and write down the cons. Like what is everything I can think of that is against my trade? And if it's almost nothing, then you know it's a good setup. But if like in trading, you also like to see what you like to see, right? And sometimes if you then go over the cons of your trade and you go about your confluences, you might find out like, hey, this is what I want to see, but it's not what's actually there, right? And you have all this big list of cons. So your gut says, oh yeah, this is a good trade, but the like the pros and cons, they get outweighed. So this really helps to filter out bad trades or like bad gut trades for
Do
myself.
you do you also keep like a trading journal?
Yeah, definitely. I use Edgewonk. It's a trading journal software.
Mhm.
I journal all my trades over there.
So do you like sometimes reflect back and analyze what you
Always,
did? Are you planning to do like a
always.
2024 reflection to see what you have done during the year?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because I still like, even though I did like almost 100% gain this year, with 1 to 3 risk to rewards, I still made so much mistakes, like unnecessary losses, mainly, or invalid losses. There's like this difference between valid losses, like you fully stick to the plan, it's an L. Okay, you took a valid loss, part of your win rate, and you have invalid losses where you didn't stick fully to your plan, right? And yeah, definitely going to, I like to do monthly, weekly reflection, monthly reflections, but I'm also going to do like a big yearly reflection, going over the like 150 trades I took this year. And yeah, really trying to understand like what is like a recurring pattern of like recurring mistakes I make, and really trying to write them down, reflect on it, think about it. And then also because I teach trading to other people, like doing like a lecture about it, for example, like, hey guys, these are like the 3 or 5 biggest mistakes I made this year while trading, with still doing this amount, like, but there's always room for improvement, right? So I think this way, yeah, I will definitely improve on yeah, my mistakes from last year, and yeah, trade even better upcoming year also, of course, with the trading pit. So
Did you have any moment, not necessarily in 2024, but any trade that you thought is like a small win, but maybe it ended up teaching you a bit of a bigger lesson? Let's say maybe you had some sort of more memorable trade over your whole trading journey.
like this year, or less,
Just
or in general?
let's say generally, because I think that this sort of trade, it's something that's kind of coming to your mind immediately when someone's asking you, do you have something that's memorable? It's immediately coming to mind because again, it's like I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
talking about the origin story, let's say. Like I like to hear the origin story.
Mhm.
We all have those moments that we were taught a
Yeah,
lesson.
yeah, definitely. Because so I'm here with my business partner, Fabio. He's also trading, and we trade together also on YouTube. And it was when we first started like incorporating the fundamentals, and there was this really big spike on Euro GBP. And Fabio, he shouted to my desk like, "Yo, we need to short Euro GBP like purely based on fundamentals." And then like the trade I eventually got my payout with, it was like a scale in on that trade, but it was just like, okay, we're going to take this trade like more aggressive, but we know it will work based on like this fundamental analysis. And yeah, that ended up securing like a 100K FTMO account, that trade. So yeah, that was just really memorable. Like normally we would never take this trade, and now with this new information, we're like, boom, just execute. And yeah, it ended up working out really well.
So did
Yeah.
that shape in some way how you trade today as well?
Yeah, so that really showed like the power of fundamental analysis, because this was like technically you wouldn't take this trade, or it wasn't really valid. But then with this fundamental confluence, everything changed, right? So that's why it's really memorable for me. Like first indicating the power of this fundamental analysis, and then yeah, like I said, later in that move, I got in on the same move with the Euro GBP shorts, which actually got featured as trade of the week, and yeah, that ended up securing the payout. So it was really great.
Okay. I also wanted to ask you, is there anything that you would give as an advice to your beginner self, like back there in 2020, back in COVID, one piece of
Yeah.
advice that you could give to the beginner self? What would you say?
Yeah, I would say like start with don't demo trade for too long, because I did it for literally 2 years. And I think I lost like a lot of emotional progress, because it's always different when you trade with real money. So once you have like a strategy, go open like $100 account and take like $2 risk, right? Because it's always different. You have to get used to the habit of executing. trading with real money, like experiencing losing streaks. Because if you experience losing streaks on a demo account, yeah, it's always going to hit different, right? So yeah, this is definitely one piece of advice that I would give to beginners. Like, don't start too fast with big money, but like start on time with like small money and go from there. Because also, if you then lose that money, you will learn from it, right? So don't
Would
get in the demo loop, stay in the demo loop for too long.
would this apply also how you see it for prop trading? Because at the end of the day, prop trading getting funded is somewhere there in between for some people.
Hmm.
So I would say maybe what's your piece of advice for the beginner self also with prop trading? Because you need to kind of balance somehow mentally somewhere in between.
Definitely. So yeah, once you pass that stage where you're getting comfortable, like, okay, I start with $100, and at the end of the month my account is at $110 or $105, for example, you show to yourself that you are actually profitable in some sense. Like, if this $100 only goes down, right, or yeah, it starts decreasing, then it will reflect that performance on prop firms, right? So, and then with prop firms, you can waste even more money, like, because maybe the cheapest account is already $100, but like the bigger accounts are more expensive. So, like, if you can't grow that private capital, like in a slow or efficient manner, or like even getting that in the plus for basically, then it's also not going to reflect your performance with prop firms. So, yeah, this is definitely like good to, so yeah, prove to yourself like, hey, I can make like a couple of dollars, which is the same as a couple of percent. And then it will be wise to start with challenges. Because when I didn't start with that private money, just started doing prop firms, and I think I blew up like 20 prop firm accounts before I got funded, right? Or I got funded and instantly blow the funded account, like never get a payout because, yeah, emotion, etc., like wrong strategies. So um, yeah, this is definitely a piece of advice I would use for beginners.
Okay, okay. Well, I want to take you through another section that we like to have in our success stories. I want to reflect a little bit on some past things that happened in 2024. So we're going to
Hmm.
do this in more of a speed round. I want you to
Sure.
fire it away, okay? So
Fire up.
let's give it a try. So first things first, what is the best traded asset for you in 2024?
I think it's Euro odds.
Okay, okay. What is the worst 2024 trade asset?
GJ, GBP, JPY.
What piece of advice you would give for someone starting to trade in 2025?
Um,
One piece of advice.
Dial in your strategy. Always use the same entry model and like work as a machine, not as a impulsive human.
Okay, what was the worst market to navigate in 2024?
Ooh, I think it was the summer.
The summer.
Forex summer. Yeah, Forex summer was hard.
Okay. Any unexpected risk factors in 2024?
Yeah, well, so I had a trade on my private account, gold, and I accidentally made a lot size mistake. So I used 10 times bigger risk. So yeah, basically blew up half of my private account
Basically,
because
guys,
I took an
stay
L.
alert.
Yeah, because I yeah, miscalculated the lot size times
So
10.
did it ended up being like a bad trade in the end?
Yeah, it ended up going to stop loss. Yeah,
Imagine if it would have been amazing and you'd be like, yes.
crazy.
Okay, so most valuable lesson you learned in 2024.
Ooh. Yeah, combine technical with fundamental analysis when training
Okay, and
to get a deeper understanding of the market.
okay, what well, two last questions. Let's say the most out of the box method you've used this year.
Out of the box method. Oh, yeah, just applying my strategy to other instruments like stock indices, for example. I've been really profitable on German 40, EU 50, these kind of instruments, just applying the same strategy, the same concepts. but just on a different instrument. And yeah, it ends up that the price action just moves really clean. So yeah, just diversifying in assets and finding out that that our strategy at least works for multiple assets classes. So
It really is out of the box, by the way, because I don't think people actually do that. I don't think people jump between assets and try the same method for all. So it really is
mhm,
cool and out of the box thinking. I have one last
yes.
question. The one asset that betrayed you this year, like betrayed you
Ooh.
this year.
Um, yeah, it betrayed me. It was I should look this up in in my journal, but I think it was GJ. I ended up losing a lot more than I thought I will.
I feel your pain. Trust me, I feel your pain. We've all been there. So look, thank you so much for joining us for the success story. It really is important for us, to hear a little bit the behind the scenes of how our traders are out there trading, looking at the market, give advice to other people, and being part of the community and like share tips and tricks.
Of
Um,
course.
any few final words? Give us like one beautiful finishing sentence.
Never give up in trading, and then you will eventually
Yeah.
make it.
Mic drop.